Okay, hey besties. So Mary Skelly says hi as always. I know I already did a video this week, but I've been feeling just really antsy about wanting to get like more out because on my music channel I have a lot of videos already. As I mentioned, I did a song every day in February. So that's already 28 videos, and then I was doing a song a week for a couple months before that. So I have like a lot there, and then this other channel just feels so like naked almost. It's like there's nothing, I don't know. So I just want to get some more content out. So here's another, well, record another video real quick. So this time I'm gonna do the first entry ahead of what I did last time was really short, so I'm doing that one, and then one more like before that, and then after there's like a normal length one and then a really long one after. So I'm doing two before we like started and then one after where we left off. And for the quote, I want to start with The Astrology of Fate by Liz Green. This is just from her introduction. So it starts with a quote, "What is ordained is master of the gods and the Euripides." And then she goes on, "Once upon a time, it is said, there lived in Isfahan a young man who spent his days as a servant to a wealthy merchant. On a fine morning, the young man rode to market, carefree, and with his purse jingling with coins from the merchant's coffers to buy meat and fruit and wine. And there in the marketplace he saw Death, who beckoned to him as though about to speak. In terror, the young man turned his horse about and fled, taking the road that led to Samara. By nightfall, filthy and exhausted, he had reached an inn there, and with the merchant's money procured a room and collapsed upon the bed with mingled fatigue and relief, for it seemed he had outwitted Death. But in the middle of the night there came a knock at the chamber door, and in the doorway stood Death, smiling affably. "How come you to be here?" demanded the young man, white-faced and trembling. "I saw you only this morning in the marketplace in Isfahan." And Death replied, "Why, I have come to collect you, as it is written. For when I saw you this morning in the marketplace in Isfahan, I tried to say that you and I had an appointment tonight in Samara, but you would not let me speak, and only ran away." This is a short, sweet folk tale, and one might misread many themes into it, but among its deceptively simple lines is surely embedded a comment about fate, its irrevocability, and yet, paradoxically, its dependence upon the will of man for its fruition. Such a tale, because it is paradoxical, invites all manner of philosophical and metaphysical speculation, of the sort with which sensible people do not occupy themselves. For example, if the servant had stayed and spoken with Death, would he have still had to die in Samara? What if he had taken another road? Could he have taken another road? If not, then what power, inner or outer, directed him to the appointed place? What if, like the knight in Bergman's The Seventh Seal, he had challenged Death, or in short, that queer conundrum which the East has always treated with such subtlety, yet which the West has persisted in reducing to an either-or, black and white choice. Are we fated or are we free? No one's free until everyone is free, and as long as Palestine is not free, no one is free. So that's my answer. We don't have free will because Palestine is not free. That's not what I mean, but anyway. So let's get into the journal entries. We're starting on Wednesday, January 20th, 2021. No timestamp. Last night, the power went out and it was like 7 p.m. and I tried going on Twitter, but it wouldn't load, and I started doing yoga. And then I was so tired, I wanted to lie down, and I basically knocked out, and then I woke up this morning at like 3 a.m., and I couldn't sleep, but luckily the power was back on, and I checked what time Gold's open, that's the gym I was going to, what time Gold's opens, and it said 6, so I waited till 5:45 and went to the gym and got there right when it opened. I ran for a while and I got bored, and I also had to pee, so I stopped after 30 minutes and peed and then went on the Stairmaster, and the one I used was different from the rest and had a fan that blows cold air right in your face, so I was able to do it a little faster than normal without feeling sweaty, and after 10 minutes I couldn't do it anymore, and I sat down for a minute and stretched and then walked upstairs to do the mat things. and then stretched again, and there were a lot of pretty girls there, and I might consider going that early all the time because it was pretty empty, although it seemed like a lot of people came in, but I'm guessing they were mostly in the wait area upstairs because I didn't look there. And it seems like every girl has a big butt, and it makes me self-conscious that my butt is too small, which is crazy because I used to be so self-conscious that my butt was too big. That's why I'm doing the Stairmaster so much, and I hate it. It's not actually that bad with a fan though. So as long as I get that one, I can do it. That's another reason to start going at 6 every day. And then I won't bother green and purple because they both clearly want to work out alone. But anyway, I kept myself from going too hard because I only ate one granola bar before I left and took the extra ones I had in my bag out when I cleaned my room, so I didn't want to pass out or anything. So if I start making sure to eat something good for dinner or eat something better in the morning, I can try harder. And I should really go out and get some healthier food too. I could make protein shakes or something with pre-workout and then come home and have eggs or bananas or something. I could do that honey and banana sandwich with peanut butter or Nutella too. I think I have to start cooking with breakfast. I think I have to start cooking with breakfast food because that's my favorite. And I can do like 6 healthier foods, and then once a week, like on my day off, I can skip the gym or still go if I want and make like chocolate chip pancakes or something. Waffles? I don't know if we have a waffle maker. Or waffles? If we have a waffle maker. And I could also make sure to squeeze in some yoga when I get home before I shower. So I have to go grocery shopping at some point. I could potentially go tonight after work for at least something for tomorrow, or I have the day off tomorrow. I could go shopping in the morning and then make something and then go to the gym. I could go at 10:30 with green and purple and just do my own thing. So normally if I go at 6 and stay till 7:30, which I probably won't, but what if, then I can be home at 7:50 and do yoga for like 20 minutes and then shower for 10. That's 8:20, and I can start making breakfast and eat, which I can't imagine lasting over an hour. But let's say it takes till 9:30. I still have more than enough time to get ready for work and can even wear makeup and everything and journal and whatever else till 2:30 when I work later. I'm looking up healthy breakfast recipes and we'll see what happens. And Sunday, January 24th, 2021. Yesterday, I decided to sleep in instead of going to the gym, and I felt so bad all day. And today I made sure to get up early and go at 6, and I was the only car there, and I thought that was weird, but it was also like 35 degrees out, so I thought maybe other people decided to skip, but I googled it and they open at 7 on Sundays. I came back home and I can't decide if I want to go back or not, because I feel like it's a waste of gas. I already feel better than yesterday, so I could just do other things like clean up a little or make breakfast or something, or that should be green. Okay. Or, how can I make that YouTube friendly? Whatever. Or shower and play music and annoy everyone who keeps me up with their parties. Part 2. I did end up going back to the gym and I feel really good. I drank the pre-workout I bought and had a granola bar, and I felt pretty good the whole time. I also came home and showered, then made a sandwich and ate it with fruit and yogurt. I still have almost an hour before work. I'm gonna do my makeup and then maybe get coffee and a pastry before work. And then we've got the ones I've already read. And skipping ahead to Tuesday, March 16th, 2021, 12:12 p.m. I don't know what to write about, honestly. I'm just thinking my thoughts with my journal open. I went for a walk with Bowser, and I kept imagining fights with people where I was just like, okay, F you, and it kind of feels good to, even just in my imagination, assert myself and kind of accept that I had faults in past relationships due to being raised by my parents, and I kind of realized that I can somehow pick up on other people's negative emotions, and I internalize them, and make sure I'm not doing anything that could get me in trouble, and I think realizing that and believing that it's possible can help me be more aware of when it's happening and to let it go instead of holding on to it for other people. And I think that I could learn to use it in a positive way, to tap into other people's energy and match their energy when they're feeling good. Like, I can learn to pick up on bad energy and diffuse it, and then work with the positive energy at work and get a lot of tips. And I think I also need to learn how to tap into my inner child and learn how to heal, because I honestly don't have any ideas how to start doing that besides hanging out with Blue and his kids, or one kid, I guess. I think Purple told me he had 3, but he said he has 1. Either way, either way, he never has time for me. I'm so sad, but he told me before, after he didn't, He told me before, after he didn't talk to me for like a month, that he was in a negative place and didn't want to bring that energy to me. He wanted me to be happy when he saw me, and that's probably what's happening right now. But I wish he would send me his birth time so I could look at his chart, and I do know his birthday, so I could potentially look it up. But without the time, I wouldn't know his ascendant or maybe even his moon, and I don't know what city either, so I couldn't really get an accurate chart. Plus, he said it's creepy, which means he probably would be upset if I looked at it anyway. But I'm just frustrated because he doesn't talk to me. There's no other way to get to know him besides intimacy, I guess. He's always so tired, and I feel like he probably needs more of an emotional connection before that. But there's no time really to talk on an emotional level. And then, let's see, I just want to make sure this one is as long as I think. It's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.5 pages. So that'll be next time. Yeah, looking forward to it. And now let's get back into astrology. Okay, so we've got the chart for the 20th, Wednesday, January 20th. Right, so this is the day that Mars and Uranus were exactly conjunct in Taurus, and the moon had also entered Taurus. Around, I mean, it's not time-stamped, so, but this is like, the noon chart, so there's like a 50-50 chance that, yeah, anyway. Yeah, the moon is most likely in Taurus, I would say. And then we have a lot of, Aquarius energy still. Venus is still in Capricorn because we're going backwards in time. So Venus has not reached Pluto yet. And we have the sun just entering, the sun had just passed Pluto, conjoined Pluto, left, and then entered Aquarius. It's approaching Saturn. Jupiter and Saturn are at 7 degrees, Jupiter, and 3 degrees, Saturn. So, and then Mercury is also in Aquarius at 19 degrees, Neptune in Pisces, the moon, Mars, Uranus in Taurus, and oh my gosh, that's like basically all of the planets. We've got, yeah, the north and south node. North node's in Sag. No, north node is the one that makes an N, so it's Gemini, and then Sag is the south node. So yeah, we've got Mars and Mars and Uranus conjunct, and the power went out, so that's kind of funny. Because yeah, Uranus is like sudden unexpected things, and then Mars cuts things, severs, tic-tac-toe. A loser. God, anyway, our government is a sham. So Mars and Uranus conjunction, the power went out. I was trying to do all my like night routine stuff, like yoga, which is very like Saturn, Jupiter in the first house, my first house. I don't know what the house, because I don't have a timestamp here, but Aquarius is my first house, so we have Saturn going through Aquarius, and as I said last time, that can lead to like losing weight and stuff, or like just more disciplined, like, yeah, like doing yoga more often. It's pretty fun stuff. We love Saturn. If you've seen, like on the second video, I read Saturn, A New Look at an Old Devil, and that was a really like helpful book for me. So I recommend it to anyone who's like worried about Saturn transits or something coming up. Yeah, so I tried to go to the gym, and it was closed still because I just got there too early. I didn't know they open later on Sunday. That's silly to me. Does that, I guess it's like limiting. I'm trying to like exercise, and that's Saturn limiting it. Like Jupiter in my first house could be trying to go to the gym more, and then Saturn's limiting that, which is like the opposite of what I said, where like Jupiter in your first house might make you gain weight, and then Saturn would make you lose weight. But I mean, that's just like one way that they can present. So I should probably stop playing around with this iPad because it's already cracked. I should be more careful. So, and then yeah, these two entries were like pretty close together. Oh, there were a lot of pretty girls. All the Venus and Capricorn. I love that for me. And they have the big butts. Scorpio. Okay, so I have the chart set just for like noon because that's what it tells you to do if you don't have the time. And in this chart, the ascendant is in Taurus, so the descendant is in Scorpio. And Scorpio rules the booty. And so I was like talking about other people's butts. And the next entry was at like 12:12, so it's not like totally unreasonable that this could have been around noon. Yeah, I'm talking about, I said last night, and then this was this morning. Okay. Yeah, like I'm talking about I'm not able to work as hard because I only ate one granola bar, and I need to like make sure I eat more like for dinner the night before and stuff, and so I have more energy. That's very like Jupiter Saturn in the first house, plus the sun had just entered there, so it's like these things were already going on and I'm just like noticing them. The sun's illuminating what's happening. And then the next entry, wait, I got the top of this page. What's up here? Oh, I'm like trying to plan out every like minute of my morning routine. Yeah, I mean, I feel like Mars and Uranus in Taurus is such an interesting combination, because Taurus is like the bull, and the bull it's just very like, it's just gonna stand there doing its thing, just like eating grass or whatever, and you can go and try to like make it move and it's not gonna move, and if you keep bugging it, it's gonna get mad and it's gonna charge. But until it gets to that point, like, so I feel like Mars and Uranus in Taurus is like what like makes the bull charge, so it's like so interesting. And then the 24th, we've got, this one's again not time stamped, but so the Mars had started moving away from Uranus a little bit. We've still got all that Aquarius energy. The sun had now caught up to Saturn and passed it and is making its way to Jupiter. Pluto and Venus. Venus is approaching Pluto. The moon has moved on to Gemini, conjunct the North Node. And I decided to sleep in instead of going to the gym. I love that for me. That's like Sun conjunct Saturn in the first house. I'm trying to work out, but I don't want to. I want to sleep instead. Oh no, this is the day that I tried to go, but I couldn't. The other day I was saying I went and I did all the workouts and like so yeah. Mars is also like physical activity, like athletes would be represented by Mars, and like soldiers are Martian, but like yeah, getting up, going to the gym, like all of a sudden doing the Stairmaster, and then like that one Stairmaster with the fan on it, that was so nice. And then Uranus is also like technology, so I feel like yeah, like it was the technology that was motivating me. I was like, if I can go to the gym early enough, I can get this specific Stairmaster that I like, and have the nice air blowing in my face, the well, now the moon's in Gemini, but for the 24th, which is a different entry, um, I mean, it still makes sense. The moon in Taurus is exalted, and it's like just feeling physical, like pleasure on the body. It's very Taurian, so it's like, I love that for me. Let's see here. Oh yeah, I remember getting to the gym like the one morning, it was like 35 degrees, and I'm like, I hope everyone's just like, I don't want to go because it's cold, because there were no other cars. There are usually like a line of cars already, like even if I was there before they were open and like waiting outside for them to unlock the door, there was still like already cars lined up, and so I got there and there weren't any. And it was like, oh gosh, what's happening? But I did go back, even though I thought it was a waste of gas. Um, that's very Moon and Gemini, part of the mutable signs. They're also called like double-bodied signs, and so sometimes if you do something like while the moon or ascendant or something is in a mutable sign, you might have to do it twice, or like Chris Brennan, I think, has said if you start something in a mutable sign, you might need to start something else and then finish the other thing before you can return to the first thing that you started. So that's like going to the gym and then like not being able to go and then leaving and then like coming back again. It's like kind of, that reminds me of that in a way. And then I'm talking about just like some food. So yeah. Food is very Taurian, I think. So, and yeah, I was using like food to motivate myself, like, because I do like eating breakfast foods more than like lunch or dinner foods, and like I'm more excited about like the concept of like making breakfast food. So I was like trying to get into cooking. But I'm not, like, I have Mars in Cancer, and I feel like when I've tried to cook before, there were multiple times when somebody else was trying to show me how to cook, and they were like, I asked them something, and they're like, well, read the instructions, and I like skimmed it because I was just looking for the information that I wanted, and I missed something, and they like didn't tell me what I don't know. Yeah, I would just like mess up food when I try to make it. And I attribute that to Mars in Cancer, because Mars is in fall in Cancer, and it's like planets in fall, it's not necessarily bad, you're not doomed, but they're under resourced. And so I just feel like I don't know the things I'm supposed to know about cooking. Like um sometimes I'll watch like cooking shows, and they're like, you know when to take it out when it like smells like this, or when it feels like this, like pasta should be al dente, and you can tell like by throwing it at the wall or like to the teeth. And it's like I don't know. I don't know when it's right. I don't know what golden brown, like I feel like I'm just gonna take it out too early because I don't want it to get burnt, or like I'm just gonna be like, no, it's probably fine, and then it gets burnt, or like I just like cooking just isn't my thing so far. Maybe that'll change at some point in my life, but um I don't enjoy it. I don't like thinking about food, to be honest. um I would prefer um yeah, like getting a little nutrient pill that I just take one a day, and then I can focus on other things. For I think I would get bored of that. I would want to like change it up sometimes, but I think like weekdays I would really enjoy that. And then like on weekends I can like go out and eat and enjoy it and like whatever. But like, yeah. Okay, so we'll get to the next chart. March 16th. Yeah, I was like, I don't know what to write about. I'm just oh yeah, I remember walking my roommate's dog and just like arguing with people in my head, like going back over with like arguments I've had with people, or like things that they've said that I just like didn't respond to, and just like giving them a piece of my mind, you know. And even though it was just like mentally, or like I think like no one was around, I let myself kind of like say it out loud. I was like, you know what, fuck you too, you know. And uh yeah, it felt really like cathartic to get all those emotions out. Maybe I should read a part of Burnout from like Burnout. But yeah, there's a part where they talk about how feelings are like a tunnel, and like you enter the tunnel, and if you like suppress the feeling, if you shut it down, like you don't let yourself cry, you don't let yourself like scream back at the person that just pissed you off, like you don't leave the tunnel. So you're just like stuck in the feeling, and then you need to at some point go back later and like cry about what you didn't cry about, or scream about what you didn't scream about, or like punch somebody that you wanted to punch that you held. Like you got to get the emotion like out physically. Yeah, I think about that a lot because I just like it's like, yeah, that person said something that made me sad, but like it's fine. Like I know that they are probably like they didn't mean it or whatever. Like this customer pissed me off, but like I'm not really mad at them. I'm mad at this job, and I would just kind of like deny all my emotions. Um and then yeah, this I was like no. So that's very Mars and Taurus, or so by this point Mars is in Gemini, but the moon had come around and is back conjunct Uranus and Taurus. So I do feel like it may it almost makes more sense if Mars was there to do this, but maybe like with Mars out of the equation, like well, it's still in the equation, obviously it didn't like disappear from the sky, but with Mars away from that, the moon Uranus, I feel like maybe I was a little more like clear-headed and like thinking more um like less, it's less from a place of anger and more of like justified, like, you know what, no, I that was kind of messed up for that person to do that to me. And um yeah, it felt really good to just imagine that I was yelling back at all these people. And yeah, I feel like, okay, realizing I can pick up on other people's emotions and stuff. I'm gonna, well, if you look at my chart in Western tropical zodiac, I'm an Aquarius rising with Saturn, the ruler of Aquarius, in Pisces, and I feel like Pisces is a sign that's really like good at picking up on emotions, and maybe like can intuitively kind of feel other people's emotions. Um, and I've talked to somebody who said like she was driving and she was like moving closer to the car in front of her, and she felt like in her like physically angry like in her body, and then as she like drove away from the person, it like went away, and she's like, that wasn't mine, that was theirs, and it was like whoever was driving that car, and I like felt it somehow. And so I do think Pisces kind of has that like ability in some way. I don't necessarily understand it, but we do have Neptune and Venus. So Neptune would be the modern ruler of Pisces, and then Venus is exalted in Pisces. And the sun is right there next to Venus and Neptune. And Mercury had entered Pisces. Mercury's in antithesis and fall. I just reread, Chris Brennan said he doesn't like the word detriment, or not that he doesn't like it, but like antithesis is a more accurate um like translation of the word. He had tweeted that, and I guess I forgot. I keep using detriment, but I think antithesis is probably a better word. But yeah, so Mercury, we have the modern ruler, and Venus in exaltation in Pisces, and then we have Mercury in antithesis and fall in Pisces. So that's it's a lot of Pisces energy, and I'm like realizing that I'm picking up on other people's emotions, and just like I feel like when I'm sad and like trying to hide it, it's like there's a part of me that like wants people to know still. Like if I'm at work and I'm just like, someone's like, "Oh, what's wrong?" Like my coworkers be like, "Oh, what's wrong?" And then I didn't want to talk about it. I just saw 3333 on the timer. Anyway, I didn't want to talk about it because I didn't want to like start crying at work or something, and so I'd just be like, nothing's fine. But I felt like there was some part of me that was like projecting my sadness onto other people, because like people would keep, like, I was trying to hide it, and like, because I was getting really annoyed with people asking me. I'm like, just stop it. And so I was trying to pretend like I was doing really well, and it wasn't happening. Like, people weren't believing it, I guess. And it was like, okay, that's the really long one. Yeah, so I feel like that Pisces energy makes sense. The moon kind of Uranus. What else did we talk about? Also, yeah, Mars in Gemini is like talking and kind of like, let's see, but Mars in Gemini, I do see like somebody like talking out loud to themselves and like having these like fight, especially because my moon's in Gemini, and my moon's at 3 degrees of Gemini, and this Mars right here is at 7 Gemini, so it's like pretty close. So yeah, that's pretty much all I have right now, and then next week we'll get into the really long one. So let's pull, I have this Star Codes Astro deck, Oracle deck. Look at how pretty this Venus card is. It's good. I feel like the lighting's just not the best, but anyway, they're really pretty cards. I just want to see if anything comes up that like sums up or is like relevant to anything that I said. Come on, you're seeing all the cards. Oh, okay. Just one card, please, to see. I'm just gonna keep that one. Okay, so I have Uranus. Change. I talked about Uranus a lot. I mean, I talked about all the planets, but Uranus was like a big part of that. Okay, so yeah, I feel like that fits. And then I wanted to pull and read. This is like the first tarot deck that I bought, Spirit Song Tarot. I think I ended up, like, I bought it on Etsy and it took a little while to come in the mail. And I ended up getting another deck before I actually physically got this one, but this is the first one. It's like, I think of it as my first deck. Oh, I wanted to show, this is like one of my favorite cards, and it just, oh, yeah, this lighting really isn't great for this, but it's a little crocodile and a creepy little spider. Okay. I'm a little overboard with the rings today. And I got myself a Julia Emily ring because my music name is Julia Emily, and then this is juli.a.strology. Okay. One card, please, that I'm going to read to all these lovely people watching this video. What card do I need to read to the lovely people watching this video? Oh, okay. The 10 of Crystals flipped over, so that's the card I just showed. A few other ones, like all of that just flipped over, but this was the top one on that, so I'm gonna read that. Let's see if we can get a little bit better. I just really like the colors on this one. 10 of Crystals, feathers, shells, acorns. Oh, crystals aren't on here. Just kidding. 10 of Crystals, alligator. I think I said crocodile earlier. I'm so sorry. So the difference is alligators you'll see later, and crocodiles you'll see after a while. That's how you tell the difference. So stability and attainment. On the borderland of water and earth, alligator's primordial creative power supplies her with the essential groundwork to realize her goals. Her careful planning and methodical ways brought her long-term security, and she's earned the comfort she enjoys as she continues to strengthen her empire. Alligators reminding you that you have worked hard to achieve what you have, yet she wants you to realize that there is always room for growth and change. Consider how you can best use your skills toward jumpstarting a project. Be open to receiving the bountiful blessings that life has to offer. Keywords: security, solid foundations, stability, prosperity, attainment, success, establishment. If it's in the reverse, it means when things seem not to be running smoothly, take charge of the situation and practice caution and foresight. Financial loss, risk, boredom. So, I did that thing where I read out loud and don't actually absorb any of the information because I'm just focusing on pronunciation. So I hope y'all got something from that because I didn't. Just kidding. Thank you for watching. I'll probably be back shortly because, like I said, I'm really antsy and want to get more videos out there, and just like start building up, you know, a base of things. Yeah, get some, because I want to look into zodiacal releasing, but I don't really, I haven't lived through that many periods. So I have like my L1 and L2, but my first L1 period was only like 8 years, and it's like, what was I doing in second grade? I don't know. So, yeah. I might, so my dad's birthday is coming up, and I wanted to do a little episode of, let's call this a podcast, I guess, but I wanted to do a little episode where I like interview him and read his birth chart, and I told him he could ask like astrology questions that he has too, and I gave him well, I guess I lent him a book. It's called like Astrology and the Psychological Self or something. I don't have it, otherwise I would tell you, but I told him if he wants to find a quote from it, he can, and he can read it. And so yeah, that's, we might look into his zodiacal releasings. He's obviously older and he's lived through more of his like L1 periods, and so it might be more interesting. And yeah, so if you want to stay tuned for that, you can. See you next time. Have a good day. Okay, bye. Once upon a time, it is said, there lived in Isfahan a young man who spent his days as servant to a wealthy merchant. That I really enunciated that to you. Merchant. This mic really picks that up too. Okay. Oops. Sorry. Yeah, I'm bending my book. I'm sorry for all you haters out there who don't like it. On a fine morning, the young woman rode to market. The young man. I'm like such a feminist. Anyway, I feel like it should say one fine morning. And Death replied, and now let's get back into astrology. Okay.